We start with the New York Football Giants, who have a tall task ahead of them on Sunday. They are underdogs, Max. Familiar territory when they face Aaron Rodgers and the Packers at Lambeau. But history is on Eli Manning's side. Eli actually has a better record as an underdog than as a favorite in his playoff career. Starting with his Super Bowl run in 2007 season, he led all starting quarterbacks in upset wins in the playoffs, going a perfect 7-0 as an underdog. Here's our Jon Gruden.
Eli Manning is the one man that I just don't want to see in the playoffs. He is a flatliner. He has no conscience this time of year, and it's important that they obviously have some success early in this game, try to take the crowd out of it. Some guys, nothing bothers them. And Eli Manning is one of those players, usually the guys that I think are in the Final Four, in the Super Bowl, world champions. You think of Brady, you think of Rodgers, Roethlisberger, Eli Manning. They're icemen. They have no feelings, none. They are able to concentrate on a snap-by-snap basis, and it's what separates them. That's where their greatness, I think, truly lies.
Stephen A., he's done it before. Jon Gruden knows a thing or two about football. He's a believer. Do you have faith in Eli?
Not right now. I don't have the same faith in Eli Manning that I used to have. He's a two-time Super Bowl champion, not taking any credit away from him. But when you look at him and consider the fact that he's the former #1 overall pick, I dare say you can make a legitimate argument that his career, even with 2 Super Bowls, has been somewhat disappointing. And the reason that I say that is because coming into this year, 6 of the last 7 years, you had actually missed the playoffs. The one year you made it, you ended up being a Super Bowl champion. Max Kellerman, I'd like to remind you that 2 times he's won the Super Bowl. He's been to the postseason 5 times. 2 times he's won the Super Bowl. The other 3 playoff series, all the 3 playoff seasons, he never won a playoff game. He lost each of those games. The only time he's won a playoff game is the year that he won the Super Bowl, and that's a very big deal. And I certainly can't poo-poo that. It's not like I'm not a fan of his or anything like that.
You're at least pooing it right now.
I'm simply saying that I look at Eli Manning, and you know, in the interest of full disclosure, I'm playing injured today. I'm battling the flu. If I sound different, I apologize.
Oh no.
But let's
Max,
take it easy on
Max,
you.
I'm coming over closer to you here.
You know, it would be nice. It would be nice.
He shook my hand.
I shook my hand.
I want you to get better. Don't get a sick one.
I did shake his hand. I forgot. But here's the deal.
No, I'm a germaphobe.
Where is the sanitizer?
Listen, Eli Manning, bottom line is clear. Eli is touch and go with him. You know, Eli could win the Super Bowl this year, or he could be done this Sunday. Anything's possible with him. And this Sunday, he's going up against Aaron Rodgers. So forgive me if the odds are, and I'll make my prediction Friday, but forgive me if the odds are that Eli Manning will lose a game before he goes on another Super Bowl run. I'm just not sold based on what I've seen from him this year. He's been a model of inconsistency.
So let me get this straight. The Giants are a wild card. They're going to have to obviously no bye, and they're going to have to go on the road the whole time. Got Eli Manning and the hottest defense in the game. Molly, you're a Giants fan. I'm liking our chances right now.
Good.
I'm feeling pretty good. Now,
this is how we do it.
Now, look, Aaron Rodgers is, I'm not saying he's the greatest quarterback of all time. That's Tom Brady on the resume and everything. Aaron Rodgers, you call him the most talented. I think if you just say, look, eyeball test and everything, who's the best quarterback you've ever seen? I think I would say Aaron Rodgers. And he's playing at his best right now. So I get it. He's better than Eli, even when Eli elevates. Fine. But Eli's playing the Green Bay defense. Aaron Rodgers got to play that Giants defense.
That's true.
Now, Eli may not look good at times in this game because they don't have an offensive line that can block anybody. So he's got to get rid of the ball fast. And that's why the receivers can't get in their routes. And when they bracket Odell, it gets to be a problem. But you tell me, you give me Eli Manning. You mentioned 7-0 as an underdog in the playoffs. That's the best record. 2 Super Bowl championships, a hot defense, and now, for the first time in his career, arguably the best offensive weapon in the game who's not a quarterback in Odell Beckham Jr. Not to mention, you know, other good receivers on the team. This is a really good receiving core. Man, I like my chances. And to your point about Eli and underachieving as a #1 overall pick, you ask the fans of any franchise who are picking #1. The Giants were supposed to pick 4th that year. They traded up. But even a top 5 picking franchise, which means they stunk that year, who was looking for a quarterback. You're going to draft a quarterback in this draft, #1 overall. He will win you 2 Super Bowls. There's not, except for Patriots fans, there's not a fan in the NFL who wouldn't sign up for that I'm one of those fans. I'd sign up for it knowing everything I know. I'd do it all again.
Let's put things in its proper perspective. We appreciate the lucky pass to David Tyree.
Oh,
Let me finish. We definitely appreciate that phenomenal pass down the left sideline to Mario Manningham. That was big time. You couldn't have thrown a ball more perfect than that under a clutch situation. But everybody acts like the New York Giants went out there and dropped 30 or 40 on somebody. They beat the New England Patriots 17-14. They beat them 21-17. I'm saying to you that their defense was primarily the culprits in those Super Bowl titles. Now, Eli Manning showed up when it counted, and he deserves credit for that. But at the same time, that defense was big time. When I think about this Giants team and this defense and what they're capable of doing, I can understand where you're coming from. I can't dismiss it. I'm simply saying the Eli Manning that we've seen from years past, I think this Eli Manning is worse than the Eli Manning we've seen back then. And that's my concern.
And by the way, he's gone to Green Bay. He's been in Lambeau and beaten Favre in the playoffs and beaten Rodgers in the playoffs.
He has the same playoff wins as Aaron Rodgers in Lambeau.
That's right.
Bart Starr and Terry Bradshaw.
That's right.
And Joe Montana and Tom Brady.
That's right.
And Eli Manning, the only players in the history of the NFL to win two Super Bowl MVPs. He didn't just ride the coattails of the defense. You call him lucky or whatever. He made plays down the stretch to win the game.
He plays with nothing to lose, everything.
And I want to say something about that really quickly. Your older brother's Peyton Manning. If you are Peyton Manning, you are ordained. He's going to be the greatest quarterback ever. And he basically does it. It's the best quarterback anyone's ever seen. Oh, my God. But when the playoffs roll around and the money's on the line, it is understandable that a guy like that can get tight because he has so much to live up to. Eli's the little brother. He wasn't supposed to be that guy. His older brother was. He got nothing to lose with the chips on the line.
Your most compelling argument is that he's not going against the Giants defense. He's going against Green Bay's defense. But my argument to you would be this. If you can sit up there and look me in the face, despite what you're seeing with those eyes of yours, and tell me that Tom Brady's going to fall off a cliff.
That's right.
I can certainly say Eli can fall off a cliff in a playoff game. I can say that.
To paraphrase Jay-Z. To paraphrase Jay-Z, don't bark up that cliff. That cliff will fall on you.
Okay, I got you.